I've lived for 80 years. This bank book in my hands was created when I was 25. It was 1965, when Korea was still rebuilding from war. Opening a bank book then was monumental. The first deposit was 500 won, my family's rice money for a month. Every time I open this, I feel something strange. Pride mixed with emptiness. The numbers grew because I saved without missing a month for over 50 years. 30% of my salary always went to savings. I skimmed from household money. When children asked for snacks, I refused. I wore the same coat for 10 years. Why? I was terrified of poverty. The Korean War images burned into my mind. Bodies on refugee roads, starving children. I believed money would keep me safe, would protect my family. So I saved every coin. I haggled at markets. I walked instead of taking the bus. I finished everything before sunset to save electricity. Everything except education costs went into this bank book. That's how I lived 55 years. Now I look at these numbers and ask myself questions I never dared before. Was this what I wanted? Were these numbers the meaning of my life? At 80, I see things I couldn't before. Truths realized far too late, when time has run out. 1960s South Korea was desperately poor. War wounds hadn't healed. Disabled veterans filled streets. Orphans begged on corners. My first household allowance was 3,000 won monthly for rice, coal, food. It never added up, so I learnt to haggle. At first, embarrassed, then necessary. Saving 101 meant saving 1,000 eventually. The radio broadcast constantly, "Saving is virtue. Saving will save the nation." President Park promoted savings as patriotic duty. Bank interest exceeded 20% annually. Money multiplying just sitting there seemed magical. I was mesmerized. So I decided to save no matter what. When in-laws gave holiday money, I saved half. New Year's gifts went to the bank. Children's allowances too. I told them I was keeping it safe for their future. My husband wasn't interested. "What will you do saving like that?" he asked. I got angry. We needed to prepare for the future. What if we got sick? He just smiled. Being happy today is enough. I dismissed this as childish. Now I think maybe he was right. But I didn't know then. I believed saving was the only way to survive. I raised 3 children. Education costs were enormous, but college was essential to escape poverty. When my eldest entered middle school, friends all attended cram schools. He asked to go. 20,000 won monthly. Twice my savings. I agonized. If I paid, I couldn't save. But I couldn't abandon his education. So I found another way. I skipped lunch, claiming diet. Actually, one skipped meal saved 1,000 won daily, 30,000 monthly. Cram school covered. I stopped buying clothes entirely. Wore the same things 10 years. Patched holes, added fabric, dyed faded colours. Neighbours said, "Buy new clothes." I was embarrassed, but endured. We never travelled, not once, in 20 years. Children said they envied friends' trips. My heart ached. But trip money equaled months of savings. I promised, "Later when we're rich, we'll go better places." They nodded. When my husband wanted to travel with colleagues, I stopped him. "Let's open another savings account instead." He looked disappointed but followed. I thought I was wise, preparing for the future. 20 years of this. All children graduated college, got jobs. I thought I succeeded. The bank book grew large. I was proud, but I never asked if they were happy. I was mid-60s when my husband collapsed. Stroke. He spent a month in ICU. The doctor said surgery was needed. Costs were enormous. Some covered by insurance, much not. That's when I closed my bank book for the first time. 50 years of savings. At the bank counter, my hands trembled violently. This was retirement money for travel, grandchildren's allowances, comfortable living, but there was no choice. I had to save my husband. Surgery costs, hospitalization, rehabilitation. Bills kept coming. Watching the balance decrease felt strange. Not anger, not quite sadness, just emptiness. A lifetime of savings going to hospital bills. Was this why I saved? Education fees, then hospital bills. Eventually, my hospital bills too. Money existed to keep us alive. not for enjoyment, only survival. My husband recovered, but changed. Speech slurred, walking difficult. I cared for him 5 years. Hospital appointments, therapy, medications. The bank book drained endlessly. One day he said, "Honey, I'm sorry. I spent all the money you saved your whole life." I couldn't speak. It wasn't his fault, nobody's fault. That's just life. Life doesn't care about our plans. I realized then money wasn't there to be saved. It was there to be spent when needed, to be used for living. I only knew how to save, not how to spend for joy. There are moments I regret. When my husband said, "Let's visit Jeju Island once," early 1980s. Plane tickets seemed expensive. I said, "Let's go later." He said, "Okay, later." That later never came. He died without ever seeing Jeju. The ticket money I saved bought nothing. It became a meaningless number. My eldest wanted art classes. He loved drawing, had talent. I objected immediately. "What will you eat by drawing?" Not practical. I used that money for another savings account. He gave up his dream. Now he's an office worker, successful by conventional measures. But sometimes when he draws, his eyes show longing. A road not taken. I wonder what I took from him. I never bought my husband birthday presents. What presents at this age, I'd say? Only seaweed soup. He never complained, but I saw him admiring the neighbour's watch, something wistful in his eyes. I should have bought him a watch. It wouldn't have cost much, but I didn't. We never went to amusement parks with the children. Entrance fee is too expensive. They pressed against fences watching other children ride carousels. "Can't we ride? Just once?" I made excuses. That's boring. It was a lie. I was just stingy. These moments accumulated into my life. Money saved increased. Memories did not. Now this photo album has so few pages, so few captured joys. Regret sits with me daily, heavy and permanent. 5 years since my husband passed. After living alone, I entered this nursing home last year. Children recommended it. I refused at first. I can live alone, but my body wouldn't listen. Eventually I came here. The home costs 2 million won monthly. With remaining money, I can last 3 years. Then I'll need children's help. A lifetime of saving, and it will run out anyway. What was the meaning? I watch other grandmothers here. Some have families visiting often, grandchildren running down halls shouting "Grandma" with pure joy. Watching that hurts with envy. My grandchildren come once or twice yearly. They're busy, I understand, but I'm lonely. Loneliness here is different from any poverty I knew. One grandmother, Mrs. Kim, has little money, lived poor her whole life, but family comes every Sunday. They walk together, laugh together. She looks happy, truly happy, wealthy in ways I never achieved. I have money in a bank book. She has hands holding hers. I know which matters. I realized recently what I should have saved. Memories, travel with my husband, eating out with children, time together. Those are real savings. Money disappears when spent, but memories grow with use. They remain forever. That's real wealth. I left money, but few memories. My children will inherit the bank book, but not happy memories together. That's my biggest regret. The most precious things can't be bought with money, and I learnt this too late. These days, I write letters to my grandchildren. Words more valuable than money, if possible now. I want them to learn from my mistakes. Money is important. Without it, there's real anxiety. Savings are necessary. Prepare for the future, but money isn't everything. Don't lose life chasing only money. Don't follow how I lived. Save 30% of salary, yes, but create happiness with the remaining 70%. Travel with family, buy the ticket, see the beach, eat together, buy gifts, experience things while young, because old bodies can't fully embrace them. I have money now, but can't travel. Spend time with parents. They age faster than you think. Don't postpone with busy excuses. Later, regret is useless. I didn't spend proper time with my mother-in-law. I'm still sorry. Continue dating your spouse after marriage. Romance shouldn't end. I barely dated my husband after marriage. Too stingy with money. After he left, I regret not watching even one movie together. Give children experiences, not just toys. Trips together are remembered longer. My children have few special memories with me. That's what I'm most sorry about. Money is a means, not an end. It's earned to be happy. Don't save while giving up happiness. Find balance. That word wasn't in my vocabulary. At 80, I see clearly now. Bank book numbers don't guarantee happiness. The people we're with, laughter we share, memories we build. That's real happiness. I have money, but loneliness in my heart. Please be different. Be happier. Don't wait for later, because later doesn't always come.